Yep. So today this video definitely gonna be about me, trading my way from a general contractor to a full-time trader. Yo. Like that's all I have in my mind right now. It's like I want to be. Let me get this camera fixed up a little bit. So I'm going all over what it has to do with what it has to do with let me get this set up real quick. Let me set let me jump on the chart. So yesterday I had this crazy experience, where I had this crazy experience, bro, where it was like one crazy experience where it was like one crazy experience where I working, like my hand them like wouldn't be able to see it on the camera that good, but my hand them tear up from like all the hard work and stuff that I've been doing lately, building this bathroom and doing a lot of different stuff, as a general contractor, all the stuff that you have to do and things like that. And believe me, I feel like it is one point in life where to come and you to realize that you don't want to be doing that no more than and I at that point no like I feel like I just feel like I don't want to be doing that no more. I do want a song on grateful and stuff like that. But when you come to the point and you realize that hey, you could make the same or more money trading the market, it's like it crazy. Yo. You could make the same or more money. Well, not the same or more. You could definitely make 10 times more money trading the market than you could working at any other job that we to do. And I feel like after I come to this point that I realized that I literally sit down one time ago and make probably like $1,100 in a few hours on the market. It was like that was crazy, yo. Like, you know what I mean? That's super crazy for me to be able to do that. So it's like I do see how in the world I do see how in the world it's possible to have that mind to stick, bro, to just working hard. When you don't understand the game of trading, you don't understand what trading all about. Like, let me see if I could get my charts pull up on this because for some reason this look like this just not showing my charts. Let me share my screen. Let me see if I could pull my screen up on this real quick. But it's like I locking in today. I said this before and I backtracked because of like working, building apartments back home, doing all of these different stuff like that. It becomes tough. It becomes overwhelming when you're trying to do so much things at once. Like when you try to do a lot of stuff at once, it becomes tough. Everything just become a lot harder and it difficult to do, right? But at this point, it's like I got lucky 100% on this. I got journeyed this whole thing on online, which got either be on, well, definitely I'm be on and YouTube and probably Instagram or TikTok. One of them. I just want to one track journey where I could track, come back and see where I come from to where I end up, like in the next 3 years from now. So today, the whole thing about this is definitely locking in on the charts, doing some markups and stuff from like a year ago. I won't go back to like a year ago when it comes to the chart. Go back to like 2020, 2024. The first month in 2024, we're gonna go back to like the first month in 2024. Let me set this up 0101, right? So let's go back to January 2024. And we could definitely go over the charts, and see all the what that actually happen in the market on day-to-day basis on different time frames and all of that. So we part the first of the year is right now. Let me mark that off. December, okay, January 1st. This is January 1st right here. This blue line would be considered the beginning of the year. What other color we could put this in so this could be highly noticeable? We could put one thick black line, or we could put, let me put it in yellow. That really noticeable. So the reason I come all the way back here is to see the repetition, right? To see how the market repeats itself continuously. Undo, marking up. I want to mark up two things, which would be support and resistance and structural patterns. That's it. It's like support and resistance and structural patterns to me is everything that the market does repeatedly. Regardless of what everybody else think, I feel like that's the only thing that the market does. It do nothing else. It do nothing else crazy and none of that. So we got come at this point. We could see that when it comes to the market, we could see the market created one lower high here. We were headed all the way up here, basically going up. Bullish structure here. We got a higher low, higher low, higher low, and then we got a higher highs, minor higher lows in that section and stuff like that, right? But at this point, it's like what I want to really look into is marking off the structural patterns and support and resistance. So the one thing I'd look to do most of the times that I've been training my eye to see continuously over and over is when the market creating structure. So the structural pattern that I call it, which is what the market repeats. So we could see that the market creating the lower high, lower low. This is another lower high, but it consolidated, then it dropped, lower low, same lower high, boom, drop again, break to the upside, come back up. This is like a next swing point at this point. He take out these lower high points here, but on the higher time frame, he maintained the lower high point with this one. So this would basically be like if you go up on another time frame, you would find out that this is on this here. This lower high here, just a swing point on the, I would say like on the daily time frame or something. Right now we're on the H4 time frames, right? So that's something that I want to be able to mark up to this. So basically at this point we could see that the market will create in these lower high points and stuff like that, these swing points here and stuff like that, right? So we come up, we eliminated the structure point here. Cause if this was still continuing to go to the downside with bearish structure, we would have definitely create another lower low point here before coming way up here. So this that happen a lot of times because the market need to stop traders out who already made money and stuff like that. And being we at this level of support, every time the market meet one level of support, some people call it supply and demand. At this point, to me, it's the same shit. So this reached this level of support here and it bounced and it went all the way up here, right? So then we had this big drop to the downside. Market pulled back up, triple top right here. We won't be able to go into this in details in a minute to see exactly where the market that creates support and resistance and how support and resistance that actually determine the structure. People do tell you this because they're trying to sell you courses. They try to do a lot of stuff like that. But support and resistance create structure. And before people like I not never noticed because nobody not never tell it to me. I had to mark up the charts for months and months and now years at this point to be able to bite my tongue. To be able to understand that this is all the market does. If we look from here last year into this year, you could see all wrong here. The market was bouncing, right? PO support level being retested over and over. So if we look at this at this point, we got support here. The market come, it hit support here, and it jumped. It basically bounced way up here. Then we come out, we find slight support here. It break this support, come back in and find support here. Then come and it finds support here again. Bounce all the way up here. Support, support. You understand? So let's look at it now with the market creating structure by using support and resistance level. So if we come and we put support and resistance on, let me just put this like this to be able to see exactly where I would put my support and resistance line. So this would definitely be like one resistance up here for me, right? This is one resistance up here for me. Let's look for some more support levels and stuff like that to see when the market create and support and resistance level. And it doing that. This is the first thing that I learned when I started trading support and resistance. But I not never like I use it for one period of time and then we stop using it because they keep telling me when I was learning to trade that support and resistance it the work, but then it this and it that and it yada yada one a whole heap of BS, right? But support and resistance is what actually the create structure in the market and it's all the market does because the market moves off of human behavior. If the market come into one support level, most traders will be looking to buy. So sometimes the market actually bounce from there. You understand? It repeats the same thing over and over and over. It's just a perpetual system. It just does the same stuff over and over. So if we come and look for support and resistance in a smaller term, right? We can see right here the market creating support and resistance point right across there, right? So when I done mark these off, I want to be able to go now and show you the structure in the market, right? So if we look at it like this here come, boom, find support, it bunks. Find support, it bunks. Find support, it bunks. It created one higher low point, come back, break resistance, become support. It find resistance up here and it come back down. It don't create its higher low. And now it created it. I mean, it created the higher high, then it created a higher low. Break resistance becomes support. It created a new higher high point, and now it created a new higher low point. It break again, it find resistance again from this side. Now it come back to the same support and maintain the higher low point here. It bounce, come back, bounce again, same resistance level that it were rejecting from, created the higher high point, and then it pushed back down, creating a lower high point, find support again. This now becomes support again. The market bunks from there, push up, bunks twice right here. Double bottom, create another resistance level update, drop, find resistance up here, bounce all the way back down here, find support, lower high point, drop to another support level, create another lower high point, and then it breaks. So if we come and we simplify that, right? All the market did was created structure inside of that whole thing. And before I was like, so how structure form? And the nice the one tell you these stuff when we were learning back then. They used to be like, oh well, this is the nature of the market and all of that. Yes, it's the nature of the market, but what the form structure? Like the noise the one tell you that, but it was because they need you to be able to stay in the loop at a point where they could actually make money from you learning from them. I in this position where I got expose everything to the simplest point and learn everything that I could learn in the market to be able to make good money and teach it to other people. That's something that I feel like I'm supposed to do at this point because the trading industry just a whole myth at this point. It's like everybody just trying to make money by teaching you the wrong thing and then teaching you part of it and not showing you the rest. And if I only had that people could have actually teach me everything that I needed to know, I probably would have been far ahead when it comes to trading. Because if you have a mentor that could teach you trading, you're excel real fast, you move real fast. But at this point, we could see support and resistance is the key, and structure just the form of a support and resistance, and structure that actually indicate to you when the market will continue or when it gets switch. So structure and support and resistance is basically the same thing. It just the name it as structure and the structure of the market, which is a good term to be able to use it for, but it's the same exact thing as in if we looking at support and resistance and trading that the market break resistance and and it becomes support. The market break structure and it retest structure is basically the same thing. It's nothing different. So now that I got that compact in my mind, it's like whenever I see the market break support and resistance on one time frame that I traded on, is either he continue or he find one resistance to reject from. So now that we seen that, right? Let's move this off the chart. We could look for another example at this point, right? So we now been to mark this section up. Let's clear this section off. We could, matter of fact, let's mark this section up so you can be able to see everything clear, right? So let's look at this point now. We look at all support and resistance level, and then we look at structure. What would be the same thing? This today, I'm really be about support and resistance and structural patterns. That's it. is like if we come and we look at this right now, right? And we looking at the market going to the downside, this would have been a bearish structure at this point. Why? Because it created, we got this the high, we got the lower high, we got the low here, then we got the lower high, then we got lower low, then we got lower high with a lower low. Here the market come, it created a higher low because it higher than this one, it created a higher high because it higher than this one, and another higher low because it higher than this one, right? So now we got the higher high point right here, right at the last lower high point. We created a pullback, boom. Then the market shot to the upside and then it was gone. Okay, so let's put this down to the bottom here now. Let's bring this down a little bit now. So if we looking at structure, we would be like, this is the low, this is the higher low, this is the higher high, this is the higher low, this is the higher high, this is a higher low, higher high, and this is a higher low that maintained that right there. And the market shot up, right? So structure and support and resistance is basically the same thing. The only thing you would have to do at this point is mark this off. Break and retest the structure is the same thing as break and retest the support and resistance level. So now that we know that, it's like you just have to simplify it and then use it to your advantage, right? If you could trade the two, I mean, hand to hand, it's just a better understanding and when the market's switching from one way to the next way, but it's just the same shit. And now I'm here to really put my mind to this and change the game. I tell it, my hand them literally, like you can't see it, but on the inside of my hand got a lot of like small cuts, right? And it all because of how hard I've been working lately. I don't want that no more. When I could come to this chart and just focus on this market with confidence and know what I'm doing and back test this market, mark this up over and over and be able to see exactly what I need to see, that's all I need to be able to make good money in the market. And at this point, my goal is to be able to just make enough to eliminate my job, which would be anywhere from like $8,000 a month to $10,000 a month. And I could eliminate my job. I don't need to work for nobody no more. So at this point, it's like what I like to do to keep in line with structure to see when structure shifting or not is to keep going with the last two higher low points, right? With the last two higher low points to see when that support level maintaining itself. So we could see right there, the market were going up. We could see right here, we got one other little support resistance right there. So he created structure, he come up, boom, boom, boom. He dropped the support, push up, break resistance, become support. So it's like when he done break support and become resistance, that's it. This right here, what name? They used to tell me this at one point where I do believe no more that the market's supposed to break this level for you to understand that the market now in a bullish structure. Bullshit. That's a goddamn lie. At this point, I come to understand that from time the market started to create higher lows on this side, you already in a bullish structure. It just probably not take out the last lower high on this side, but you already in a bullish structure because the market done start to create higher lows and higher high. The thing about it is, the thing that I don't prove and learn with all of this back testing and stuff. For instance, if we have the market going to the ups, I mean coming from up to down, right? I mean from down to up. This is the bearish structure. Before, I had the understanding that for the market to switch to a bullish structure, it needed to take out the last lower high point. To me, that bullshit. The market could have could have a bullish structure inside a bearish market. You understand it? Just depending on the time frame that you're in. The market could actually be in a bearish structure on the daily time frame, but be in a bullish structure on the H4 or the 1 hour time frame. So when I get to understand that, it was like I started to make money from it because every time I see the market coming up and it's starting to create structure inside structure at this point, which the market sometimes would create like structure inside and stuff like that. So it like when the market started to do this, sometimes it just does shoot past that, it do come back down. So when I started to understand this at some point, it was crazy to me because at this point now we seeing that the market actually creates structures inside the structure. So it's like this would be like saying one structure inside the structure, but then to understand it is like this whole thing bearish, right? They would tell you if the market come here, look to sell. If the market come here, look to sell. If the market come here, look to sell. But the market, every time you take a sell, the market still continue to go to the upside. Why? I couldn't understand why every time I do that, it wasn't working for me. It was because the market already in one structure, the market already creating higher lows and higher high, higher lows and higher high point. It's like it already doing that. So the thing about it in how to be able to trade this part of the market is to wait for the market to like say if it come like this and the higher time frame in a bearish structure, wait for this to start switching back to the other side. When this started giving you a bearish structure, that's when you want to start it like when you want to start it like, you know, going with the flow with what could possibly be going on and stuff like that. So like this is more basically advanced part of the market that I throwing out here, but it's like I want to be able to break this up into many different forms to be able to simplify it, right? So at this point, it's like that what I had to understand, and we could go and show you that. I could like definitely go and show you what I mean by that at this point. So let's look for one example, some about here to see. This is one perfect example at this point, right? Is it a perfect example or not? Let me see. Lower high, lower low, lower high. Now, this is not exactly a perfect example, but it kind of like it, but we could try to use it a little bit. So this would have been like a lower low. This would have been a lower high. This would have been a lower low, a lower high. This would have been a low that maintained the support level. And then the market come right here, created one higher low point, and it started to go to the upside. So this really not like the example that I want. I want one example we could show a bullish structure inside a bearish structure at this point. So let's look for something really similar to that, where you could see it happening, where we could see it happening right before us, right? Give me something gold. I do see something. I don't want to go so far away from where I'm supposed to be at, right? Because it's like almost back to the beginning. But we won't be able to display. I would have to go down to the lower time frame to display that. Let me go down then. I don't want to go down, but let me go down and see if I could find something really similar. Um, one bullish structure inside a bearish market. This would be like this one prime example right here. This is one swing from up here on the higher time frame to all the way down here. This is one whole swing, right? The market, this would be still considered bearish market. See when it hit up there, how it dropped because it's still bearish, right? So inside of that whole move, inside of this whole bearish market that dropped all the way down here, so we had the lower high point, the lower small little stuff here. So we got structure forming to the downside, right? We could see the market actually playing out to the downside. Price come, created this. So now this don't create a higher low point inside of this whole bearish market. Higher high, higher low. Small little higher high, small little higher low, and higher high points, right? So this is one bullish market inside a bearish structure. You got this is like the market going up, and this is when you would actually start to sell. When the market go bearish again. And this been a game changer for me because it was like I would have like mark off. Let me show you what I would have done before. Before I would have marked this section off here and wait for the market to come back here, and I want to take a short position. And every time I take the short position with confidence, I end up losing. But I wasn't understanding why I was losing. I was losing because the market in a bullish structure, the market in a bullish structure inside a bearish trend. It's like you can't trade against structure. You can't trade against the support and resistance level. If support and resistance level telling you to buy, buy, do not sell. And it's like to get the most accurate trades, you should always trade with the current price. So for instance, this is past, right? This is the past. This to help you determine what could happen next in the present, right? But at the same time, this is the present at this point. White doing on the right side, like say white doing here, say we were watching this happen in live, if the market here, you would want buy. You don't want to sell just because it rejected here. You could actually use this here as in this could be my resistance. You understand? So either he can use this level on this side as a resistance point and he can drop all the way back down. From here, he can drop back down. But only when you gotta look for the short is when it dropped down and it come up and it started to create lower highs again. And that's when you gotta look to sell. So that will been a game changer for me lately because I've been like, okay, do sell against the structure of the market. It really doesn't make no sense. It's like if you could actually just be patient enough to wait for the market to create, right? To create that one thing that you needed to be able to do, which would be the switch. If you could wait for the switch, which this is the switch, because see no, if you were selling the market, right, you would have wanted to switch. This would have been the switch right here. Now you look to sell the market because now it switched from bullish back to bearish because now it lining up. Now it lining up with the higher time frame. So that been a whole game changer to me at this point. Like right here, this would have been like you want to wait for it to break the support level and then sell the market. Because it's like if you just trying to sell the market based off of the top point, like so you sell right here, it's easy for this to just keep creating higher lows and higher high. And you keep selling thinking that the market's supposed to go down when it's not supposed to go down. So the reasons for that is like I had to come and prove a lot of these stuff to myself because I keep going wrong in circles and losing money and trying to figure out why. And it only when you come on this chart and you back test, you practice, you put in the work, you get to the point where you could actually figure out stuff. People could show you stuff, but at the same time, it's really good to be able to learn stuff. You know, learn a lot of stuff by practicing over and over. So no, that I don't see that this is one support level right here. This is one support level, and this is a support level for me. So the two of these is support level at this point for me, right? So it's like which one of these can react off of and start to create structure. We can see here the market will creating lower highs and stuff like that, resistance level on the top again. So this would be resistance, 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 and it break right here. So this is one point where you could actually take this trade and make money from it. Super simple because the market just break and close. So if we looking at support and resistance, right? So we come and we mark close price on this. Let's mark close price on this right there. So we mark close price on that right there. Let's mark this next support and resistance level right here. So we could see right there, the market just break about one support and resistance level to the bottom here. So we just break from down here, we break about one support resistance level down here. Tap and it push up. Now we created this resistance level based off of the resistance on this side. All of what we're rejecting from this side, push this back to the downside, and that's all the market does. This was support, this was resistance, this was resistance, this was resistance, and so on and so forth, right? So when I come to start seeing this, now it's like, okay, I see what you're doing. It's the same shit that I learned when I just started trading, but they try to like basically take it out of my mind. So now I'm rewiring my mind to what I now believe is true and what is lie. So at this point, you would have just definitely take one buy from here, put your stop somewhere about below here. If the best time to put the best way to actually put your stop is below the support level. But at this point, when you try to like you try to have a better risk to reward, you want to try to like bring it in and protect your capital. And definitely, if you get stopped out, try to make sure that you risking the way you should be risking, not over risking in the market. You want to be risking just enough in order for you to be able to make money. So that's something that was a game changer there for me. If we look on this part right here, right? Let's look right here. Support and resistance not never be one price. It could be one whole different situation. It could be multiple pricing one. I said that on the last video, right? So we could see right there support and resistance again. You understand? And if we look at structure, show you what structure did. Structure were going down, boom, support. It find resistance, it finds support, it break resistance, become support, come back, support again, find resistance, come back to support. This one, like right here, you could see the red candle. That is break and retest the support, break and retest the support here as well. But we are go with the bigger ones. Break, retest the support, it find resistance, somewhere broke up here on the left. It find resistance, it come up, boom, find support, and then it push to the upside. So that's all the market create. So when you pull this off, you got structure. You understand? When you pull this off, you got structure. So that's all the market can really be creating most of the time. So they use support and resistance to create structure over and over again. So now that we know that at this point, we got to use that to be advantage to be able to make good money. So let's look at this on this side as a term, right? I could rate this all the way across here, and you can still see reaction to them points. The only time you can move them off of the charts is when the market stop using them as support and resistance. Sometimes it get clustered and stuff, and you will want to take them off. But you could keep raying these cross to see where support and resistance been reacting and how it been reacting to the same mother price range over and over and over again. So when you look at the market and you break it down to its most simplistic form, support and resistance and structure is the two most important things to understand when it comes to understanding how market the work and how the nature of the market, what it is, and all of that. The nature of the market is basically support and resistance and structure. Structure is mostly formed off of support and resistance and human behavior. Because every time the market come to one support, one resistance level, people are either buy or they are sell because they know when they look to the left side, which is like they would say, look left to get it right. So if you look left, if you rate from the left side to the right side, you would see that the market just reacting off of these same support and resistance level over and over. If you just keep rating it from crosshair to crosshair, we could just see the market been reacted to these same support and resistance level. So the part that can help you determine that been helping me determine whether I'm looking for buy or sell at some point in the market is structure. It either on the bullish side or on the bearish side. It either I come into one resistance level or I come into one support level. So if I pull them back to one major resistance level, then I'm looking to sell. If I come in down to one support level, then I'm looking for buy, but it just have to be strong enough. If you look at the trades that could have been taken all the way from cross here, just raying that cross the line, right? So we could see the repetition. Sorry. We can see the repetition of what the market been doing continuously over and over and over again. It been bouncing from support and resistance. It been rejecting from this one to that one. Once the market breaks, one support or one resistance level, it either gonna come back and respect it, or it gonna continue, or it gonna come back and break through. It gonna break completely through that. It not gonna respect it. So the thing that I learned at this point is, it's like the most important thing to do is protect your capital, which would be to control risk in the best form that you ever could. Instead of me risking multiple percentage on one single trade, you could risk anywhere from 0.5% to 1%, maximum to 2%, and stay within that range and take the trades them and be patient enough to let the trades them play out. When the big trades them come, that will be super beneficial if you learn how to hold trades. So it's like that's super important to be able to get to that point to understand how the market moves when it comes to support and resistance. So at this point, understanding what support and resistance is, seeing what structure is, seeing how it the move, It's like I want to create one video and go over the whole things over and over. This not nothing new. A lot of people don't have this compact. I done had it compact at one point and I erased it from my mind thinking that it was a better way to do it. And that the part where you actually mess up a lot of times when you think there's always the grass is greener on the other side. It doesn't work like that. Most of the time, it's best to stick to something as simple as it is and use it to your advantage. And that's something that I messed up on because I had already learned and I used to trade support and resistance to the core. You couldn't get me to change that for nothing in the world. But I started to like learn from different traders and all of these different things, and then it started messing with my mind because every trader have a different term. Like they just got different terminology to be able to define what they would like to get into the market for. They would some people trade supply and demand, some people trade order blocks, some people they have a lot of different ways that they put the shit to be able to like spin it, and it's all the same thing, support and resistance level. It basically not nothing else different, right? So we look at that and we could see the amount of trade there was to be able to take in this market. You could see right here the market come all the way from across there. It used this level as support, then it used it here as resistance, then it used it here as support, 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 resistance, resistance, and then support. The only thing you gotta understand is whether you're looking for buys or sells in the long-term market. And when I mean long-term market is what you will be looking for in the higher time frames. Whether you're looking for buys or sell on the higher time frames, right? Because take a breath. Yes, it's time. But it's like if we're looking at it on the lower time frames, it's like you gotta know that you gotta be able to get in the market and get out of the market. Because you got how one risk to reward that you would stick to. And me, I like having a 2 or a 3 to 1 RR, but at the same time, I want how one trade that could run. I love having trades that could run. It just to keep me in that loop of like having like where you could gain more with a little, instead of like risking a lot, you gaining a lot more with little. So when it comes to this is the way I'll be marking my charts up, right? Let me be able to break this down real quick. So what I'll be looking for in the market, let's say this here, this would be one. The first thing I'll come and do is draw on my support and resistance level. This is the one thing I'll be looking to do right now in the market every single day, every single week, and be able to use this as much as I could to take the benefits from it. So now that we got our support, let me put this one here. So now that we got our support and resistance level, just look at this like this is what's going on in the market right now. For instance, this is how I'll be drawing all my support and resistance level, and this is like how I got actually be doing it. I just need to see what the market doing when it comes to the higher lows and higher high and the support and resistance level. It really not necessary when you trade in support and resistance level because you could see these things happen right before your eyes. You don't even need to draw on the trend line. But I just use it for a little bit more guidance and stuff like that. Right? So we could see right there the market were creating that, then it come and it started create this one to the downside, the bearish structure point right there. Then we go with the last two lower low points, right? So they're just guidelines. The last two lower low and the last two higher high point. That's all I need. Because I know once the market shift, I could go that way. Once the market going this way, then I could go that way with it. It's like I just need to be able to see exactly what happening and then keep flowing with the market instead of going against it. So we could see definitely how it would be flowing and things like that. But I just want to be able to get on, like say the last two lower high. I mean the last two higher high point or the last two lower high point. And just repeat the same pattern over and over to be able to catch what the market doing over and over and over again. You know what I mean? If we come and we just keep positioning this, I just keep it simple. Every time you come, you draw on your support and resistance level, and you looking to see points where the market could actually come back to, what the market could do when it come back to that, how it could react to these levels and stuff like that, what it could do and all of that. It basically the same thing repeating itself over and over, but some of my biggest mistakes been like I've been having like super big trades, right? And then I would come and have like some big losses because I was over risking. And I don't bill account from $10 to $100. I don't bill account from $100 to $1,000, from like $300-400 to 1,800 to 3,000, all of that. And it all consists on the same thing. It's like getting to the point to understand how support and resistance to work. This video today was basically for me to be able to like to refresh my mind again when it comes to this point, because we're going into the market. It's summertime. Donald Trump killing um I don't even want to call it, but he doing a lot of crazy stuff right now, and the market fluctuating, which against a lot of the stuff that he doing. But again, all I want to do is be able to teach a lot of people how this market to work in the most simplistic form. So I create one Discord or one Telegram group and grow it big, thousands and thousands of people for free, or if possible. I really don't care, because at this point, it's like a lot of people struggling out there in the world because the money is something that's being printed on a day-to-day basis, when we could actually just come and print it here. You understand? And they don't understanding how this thing that work, how it the move, why it the move, what to make it move, and all of these different stuff. So when you come to the point to understand how support and resistance to work, it becomes more simpler and simpler at this point. So you could see right there, if you just keep looking for support and resistance level, you'll find them. You just gotta learn how to plot them over and over and over again. Once you learn how to plot support and resistance level, it becomes simple. You could see it all the time. Yeah, every time you get on the charts, you'll be able to see where support and resistance is, what happened there, why it bounced from there, and all of that. You could see them happening over and over. And when you learn to rate cross, you learn to be able to put it together, the pieces together, because it's just, I feel like trading the market is just putting pieces together, you know. It's like a story, like you waiting for the market to do this, to tell you that, and then you do this. Is you and that supposed to work together in order to be able to make good bread from it? That's all it is to this, man. And at this point, I want like every single, I don't know if I'll be able to connect every single day. Again, I still have a job, but it's like I working towards that goal, right? To be able to get to the point where I don't need to work a job no more. Like just be able to trade the market continuously over and over again. If we look right here, we could see I took I took a loss. I took a big loss right here on gold. I sell right here at this resistance level, and my start was something about there, and my take profit was back to this support level, but the market not make it all the way there, so I end up losing, right? So then what I did was plot my support and resistance line over again. I got support and resistance right here. So I was like, okay, before that one, I was actually looking to buy the market right here at this support level. Let me move that, put this. I had this right here, right where I sell from. I was looking to buy, but it missed it by like a pair or something. It just come really close to it, but it didn't respect it. It didn't actually touch it and then bounce. It came close to it and then it rejected the level without touching the support level, and it was gone. So at that point, it was like, why in the world? I just didn't activate it afterwards. But what I did was wait patiently for the market to break the resistance, which if you see right about like on the lower time frame, I was like, okay, let me go to close price. I use close price for this trade, and I got in about right there. And I was targeting this was my first target. So while we're waiting for, we're definitely for the market to create them rejection points right there. And I got some beautiful trades on Thursday and Friday, and I missed some good move that I could be able to capitalize even more money on. So what happened right here was basically the market break resistance, and all I did was get in right here at this level here. I put my stop below support and I targeted right there. So I end up eating that with like 2.5%. 2.5 risk to reward, and I missed this part of the move because I thought the market would have probably respect this, being it done had rejected this level twice. So I had three trades in here, and then I take another trade right here after I created that little support and resistance right there. If we could see right here, it kind of like created support and resistance right there. So right there, I actually took another buy and got out up here again, right here again. But then I now managed to hold this part through because I was like, I'm not sure if this market could actually continue or not. But it did continue, so that was super nice. And I managed to be able to make some profit from that. And then I went and looked to buy here again, and I take another loss here. Then I took a short position, and then the market closed, but I closed that right before the market closed, so I don't want to hold on to it. So that will happen with me on Friday. But now we're going into a brand new week, and expectations are really high when it comes to the outcome by from Monday to Friday. Because if we look at the market on higher time frame, we could see that the market actually at one major level of resistance right here, one major level of resistance right here, it come we now come back and tap here for the third time yet. And this is something that I expecting to happen, to either tap there for the third time or come all the way back up here and tap again for the fourth time. So the expectation for the market for me right now is to see if the market can reject this level of resistance and then come all the way back down here. It either could be that or the market got actually just come when it opened, it got play around, come down a little bit, push back up, break, and then start to go to the upside. So it's like one of the two things could happen. The market could actually start to like break and create that higher low point off of the support level. He could come and reject off of this would be like the support level here. So if we go down on like say the H4 time frame, we could see that way I will actually trading from. And this is where the market been rejecting a few times before. So if he come back like into this level of support and resistance, I wouldn't mind looking to take a buy position because I don't know that this is one point that he could actually come and reject from. So we could see that on there, then we could see the structure points. We had three touches and we never went bearish. Instead, we come bullish. So now we got this level here. We created like one flag. So the market actually come and break this resistance level, pull all the way back. It didn't come back to the support level and it looking to go up. So at this point, the only thing I would be expecting to see if the market either come and break retest this level of support, break the resistance, and then retest it and push to the upside, or we could just push down from up here, start to create support and resistance based off of these moves, and then come all the way back down to this support level here. So that what I would be looking to see or looking forward to happening this week on gold. And right now I'm locked in on gold. I really not looking to trade no other pair beside gold. It's like US started been super nice to me. And I made some profit for trading US started, but at this point I don't want to trade no other pair but gold. Like that's it. Like beside that, I don't want I don't want to trade another pair. I just want to be focused on gold. Even if I trade in it on the smallest time frame, I want to be locked in on that. Like, even if you either catch a lot of moves on the 15 minutes and stuff like that, because the market that create the same thing. If you look at it like down here in the 15 minutes, it's like you're looking for faster trades, right? So you come, let's say we wipe this off, and we come looking for trades down on the smaller time frame. Let's say we plot off some support resistance levels. So we got support here, we got resistance right here, and we got resistance here. And you could go looking at this, like we could actually go looking at this at this point, right? We could see the market, how it respect these levels, what it does when it comes to these levels and stuff like that, how it just to repeat itself. So the key is for us to be as traders to repeat ourselves in the best way to be able to profit in this market. If we come and look at it right there, we could see all of the rejection points. We could see where the market been rejecting, how it been reacting, and it's basically the same thing. It just perpetuating the same things over and over and over. We look left, we could see where the market react. We look to the left side to get it right. You understand? So we could see the market come right here, reject resistance, and end up way down here at this support level, right? It come up, it find resistance, it drop, come back, it created this resistance level right here, right there. It rejected from that level of resistance right there. and went right back down to support. It finds support, and it break this level of resistance right here. Retested it, push up, break this level on this side, retested it as support, and then it pushed to the upside, just creating support and resistance in that short period of time. I thought that when she had switched here, I want to have the whole drop to the downside. That's why I ended up selling. I wanted to see if it would have target this support level again, but instead it just created one push to the downside and then it push and it break resistance. So then my mind switched right away. Break resistance, now we're looking for buys. But I wanted it to break this level to be like, okay, this could be a longer buy at this point. So once it did that, I take my buy right here. My stop was below here and my target was up here. So that was a beautiful setup right then. Then the market just continued to push to the upside for next couple of hours or something like that. So that was super nice. But this is what the market actually does continuously. It's pure support. If you could just learn how to draw, you know, as a trader, if you could learn how to draw support and resistance and understand that support and resistance that work 110%. I literally just watched Alex G turn one of his students from 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 being like a normal average broke person to having $100,000, 102,000 or something like that in his trading account. So they take the account from $1,000 to $102,000 in the span of like a month or something like that. I'm not sure because I wasn't keeping up with it. I've been working and stuff, but it been something like that. So to me, that crazy, but it possible. People can tell you that it ain't possible or it not achievable because it's like they would put it like it's not achievable because of whatever reason they say it is. They say it crazy. It possible, bro. And people done it before. It's like I don't take account from freaking $500 up to like the maximum I think I take a $500 up to before I withdraw it was like I think like about 3 grand or something like that. So it possible, but I gotta keep withdrawing because I've been doing a lot of different things. No, I want trade and do withdraw right away. I want trade and just let the market run and keep building on their accounts instead of withdrawing all the time and using the money. But we could see that the market creates the same things over and over and over and over. You can see, look at the left side and look at the right side. We find support, we find support, we find support, and then what we did, we come and find resistance right here. You understand? And if we look a little bit higher up, this is where you get a beautiful setup right here. You could see the market created support, it created resistance, then it finds support, support, and the same thing. And I managed to catch this move here, all the way up here. And I made good profit from it and I give back some of it. And then I catch this move from here, the way down, way here, I think it was. Something about here. And I'll catch this last move. Then the market pull up again and I was looking to sell again. So it's like the market been creating some beautiful patterns. And this is something that I say again to keep in mind. And as traders, if you could focus on one pair, my pair is gold. I like US started, but I don't want to trade two of them at the same time. So I want lock, one pair and do it for like a whole 2 to 3 years. If the market going to one large consolidation point where it not moving, it not doing something, it not actually fluctuating the way it should, then I got add one that appeared to be able to have a backup pair to trade, which would be US started or GBP JPY. I don't want to go back to Forex. Instead of going to like GBP JPY, I probably would go to NAS or to oil or something different, but I don't want to trade currencies like they don't too they're slow and they don't pay as much as like trading one commodity or trading indices or something like that. So I would rather stick to something that would pay faster money, better money, and stuff like that. So if we look at it, we could see exactly what we've been on for the last past. I've been on this like for an hour or something. But we could see the market, it just basically creates the same thing over and over. And when we get to the point that we could see this and understand this to the core, it's like you just could come, wait, and press a button and make some money. It's just that simple. The one thing I come to the point to understand, don't trade against the support and resistance and the structure. saying if the market breaks above this level of resistance, do continue to sell. Like, do continue to sell and sell and sell. The market got only retraced after it reached the one level that's significant at some point. It only got retraced when it reached the one level of resistance, or it got retraced when it reached the one level of support. Period. It not gonna do nothing different. You understand? It can only do that same thing. When the market reached the one significant level, it could have some kind of reaction. You understand? So let's put this side purple, the support, the resistance. You understand? So you could see how the market moves, right? So this becomes support right here, and it will resistance up there. And that's all she could do. It's like, and when it comes to structure, you could see basically this, doing this. You understand? So apart from this, after figuring this part out, the only thing now that you got to really focus on is who you is as a person and how you can react to the market. When it comes to trading the when it comes to trading the market, you gotta be able to be patient 100% or 110%. You can't be halfway patient. You gotta learn good risk management, how to protect your money, because if you don't, the market not take it from you. You gotta be disciplined. You gotta be able to create one trading plan and stick to it continuously. You gotta learn how to journal the market, journal your trades over and over. Put your trades one side, see the reason and why you took the trade, be able to learn from that trade and move forward, right? So when it comes to like trading, I would say like some of the most important thing that you need to do, right? You have to be disciplined, patient, consistent. You gotta have good risk management. You gotta have a good strategy. You gotta have a solid trading plan, and you gotta have a solid set of trading rules that you're not gonna break. And these are seven things that it took me a while to be able to grasp and understand. If you got these seven things or more, it's other stuff that I could add to that, but these are some of the most important part. But if you have these stuff that you could like program your mind and understand them, and self-control, you know, which would be um emotional intelligence or emotional control, which would, you know, how to control yourself. Them eight things, they're super important when it comes to trading. If you could be able to have them on point all the time when you step in front of the charts, everything will be different. And once that's it, it becomes second nature, I would say. Trading would become really second nature. It's like everything you do that come to do with trading, it could be simple. It's just like you either playing basketball, football, or you managing something at your work. It becomes super simple and easy to do once you could have all of these things compact with each other. So the strategy that you would trade, which would be support and resistance, that one part, and that's simple. But the other part is to be able to understand that you need to have the mental part of it as well. You need to be able to have self-control, risk management. You gotta be disciplined. You gotta have create a trading plan. The way I'm doing this right now is I created one plan before the market open at this point. So it's like I done draw on what I would be expecting from the market at this point. So when it happened, I could react to it without thinking about it two and three times. It's like be a reactive person to the market instead of trying to be like a predictor. Then you can't predict what the market gonna do next. You could only react to what it does. If the market breaks support and it become resistant, okay, you don't know what to do short the market. But if it's like if it's at a support level and you trying to sell, you trying to predict that okay, it gonna break the support level and it gonna keep going down, and that's not the case. It's best to just wait for the market to determine what could happen next and stuff like that, and then you just go based off of that. But with that being said, it's like I want to come back again later on tonight and go live again when the market open and try to take this week into something beautiful. I got journey, even my trade, I got do that live on here, which I think went the account from like 175 to like 240 or something like that. I want to take that account up as high as possible, but pure low risk. Like I trying to do low risk trading on this account to like better my skills. And then I got take some funded accounts and just try to grow from there. But beside that, it's like we have to step back into the market. And this time I taking this to the next level, God first. But it's like if God put this in my mind and give me the knowledge to be able to understand this like this, I'm a skillful person. I'm skillful at playing basketball, football, uh, at working, at construction, anything I put my mind to, I get good at it. So it's like I don't know now at this point it is time for me to elevate to the next level and do big things. So with that being said, bro, we come back at it later and we make something happen. So God bless you all and let get the man. The money day we just gonna make it and change we family life. This is something that we could do for we family, for we and for we as traders and for we kids, we parents, we grandparents, whoever need us. This is one of the greatest solution to be able to go to the next level, yo. So we come back at it again later. Bless. We out.